Okay, I see it now. Yampi still popping off. He's up there throwing fists up in the air. This man is keeping the vibe going even before we hit the
Revving up the crowd.
All right, now we can talk about maps. I really just want to see, I'll be honest, a lot of maps are new for me, right? I played, last one I played, like Lotus was just coming out. So everything is kind of new for me. But Icebox...
Just trapped in Icebox and Lotus. This is what defines the EMEA. I really, really hope that we get to see Corrode. I want to see what BBL have been cooking. And I think I'm even more excited to see what Giant X might be putting on the table since they had more time than BBL to actually prepare something for this Corrode. In fact, at the end, we can see that they had the choice between going to Haven or Corrode, and they decided it is the new map. And I think it's a very good choice for them. It's a very good wild card for them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If we get there,
I think for both teams, having to get reps on this map is important. Like, BBL have to get reps on this map. At some points, Giant X using it potentially as like a way to maybe win. They banned it last week, and letting it through this week is interesting. To me, the big story is BBL ban Bind, which is Giant X's best map in general, and BBL look pretty solid across the rest of the board. So I think this map pool matchup favors BBL quite a lot.
It makes a lot of sense. One question that's been on my brain as we do have a bit of time before we go to casters is when we look at Icebox specifically, we know it's rotating out for champs. Is it only because this matchup is so important, the stakes are so high for both these teams, it's kind of hotly contested, that we see teams continue to trend towards Icebox? Is that something we expect to see teams drop if there's a bigger mismatch? Why are we still seeing it if we know it's going to rotate?
The only team that can play that game is Fnatic at this point with the champs points they have. I don't think, and even then, I don't think they're going to play that game until they're qualified. So it's just about getting to Paris first and then worrying about the rest later.
It makes a lot of sense, and perhaps a philosophical discussion for a later date as we now get ready for agent select. And anything that we're specifically looking at, again, Icebox, as you guys have communicated to me, is kind of the vanilla ice cream of comps, very fittingly.
Yeah, but we haven't seen Giant X play this map in this entire year. So you're saying vanilla, but the same way that they were able to surprise on Bind, we might see something outrageous coming from their side.
I just want to see Sage. I love Sage.
I think that's something that we were lacking on the previous Icebox that we had earlier.
What happened to VALORANT that Sage is the crazy agent? Sage was like...
It's not crazy.
She got nerfed and nerfed and nerfed. She's actually low-key, still decent. You see Paper Rex running on a map?
No, it wasn't a power thing. When I started, it was like it was the...
Icebox is Sage's map. Like, I think that if you're not playing Sage on this map, you're crazy, in my opinion.
Okay.
I'll put it there.
I rate your word very highly.
Thank you very much.
It's only one of 2 on the desk, so I have to. You both get high marks here.
I literally built a segment for him to like look at it, and I was like, oh my god, you're so good at this, so we have to do it.
We're hyping it up.
Let's actually like speak about Icebox. You're mentioning the Sage, but what I was saying is, on the last Icebox that we saw earlier today, we were kind of missing, maybe not only the Sage, something that we have also seen a lot is the Gecko, or some tools that will help you defuse and plant the spike.
Yeah.
So
fundamentally, Icebox is a post-plant retake map, having agents like Sage and Gecko that help you plant or retake, i.e. defuse, are pretty strong on this map.
All right. Let's see what we've got.
We got a Gecko.
We got a Gecko.
We do not get the
and a Jet.
Sorry. We get the Jet. We have the double smokes coming in from BBL. This is something that they've been playing. I love the trip that BBL, the journey more so, that BBL has had throughout this map, because the first one that they played in the year was an absolute joke, and now they're actually pretty good at it.
The big thing here for me is the Levin versus Ara Jet off. I think last week we saw Levin have a phenomenal opener with Icebox, and he needs to do that against it.
It was an 11-1 half to open up stage 2 for them on this map. So it makes a lot of sense that they decide to go for that again. He was against no other than Team Heretics. So Giant X, again, coming into today, if they've done their homework, they know that Icebox is a very, very high probability for them. And I think that they've not gone out of comfort. Cloud has proven that he's very good on the Gecko.
I think one thing to look out for is Giant X not running the Sova or any way to drone out Levin. Levin had a field day last week, and running Gecko KO is quite intensive.
You mean Ada? Oh, you mean, oh, sorry, come again. No. Yeah, you're right.
So no drone means that if he gets deep operator lines, it's going to be hard to get him out with just the Gecko flash and the KO flash.
Things that I'm excited to see the Gecko coming in. I think I like that we're already seeing more spice as we get into this map. And for both these teams, it feels like the stakes are pretty high, right? For BBL, this is a kind of, I'm not going to say, it honestly feels like every match is a must-win match, so I don't want to jump to that. But on Giant X, I think this is an excellent opportunity to show that the Vitality upset wasn't just a flash in the pan.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that keeping it up, I think that a lot of people have become hopeful. We've been here in the past, but at the end of the day, BBL has only lost to 2 teams in EMEA this year. And
we'll see if it's going to be a third as we send it over to Haza and Cairo. Please take it away.
Thank you, Dracos. Look, 6 months ago, these two kicked off EMEA's opening game. And now, half a year later, both of them look completely different. And that's not just talking about the new faces.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you've got to be remembering the results that were happening last week, right? I mean, you saw Giant X. They had a good performance and a good result against a Vitality on decline. And BBL, they had a good performance, but a poor result against Heretics.
That's the headline. A Giant X that could be coming into serious form at just the right time. Few would choose to play them after last week, but BBL have no say in the matter. They shouldn't be under the illusion of any safety with the pressure that they're facing at the business end of the calendar. But in terms of this game, it's going to kick off on Icebox. And this is another interesting one, Cairo, because we haven't seen it until, well, exactly 1 year ago. Since now, Week 2, Stage 2, 2024, last time that GX debuted it, they'll begin this one on the attack.
Slow default. Mostly towards that B long for Giants, as we see Prophet looking for that early duel. Grubby will win that out. That's an entry. Giant X will be looking to use to their advantage as they head on towards the B side.
Against Heretics, BBL were very heavy on the A side, and already some of that proactive re-clearing coming through, already setting up for a flank, a heavy one. Magnum just controlling the space between the B plant, which has been denied through the Nano Swarm, and the rest of the GX players who are all grouped up right around yellow right now.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that BBL have re-cleared through mid will give them that availability to just focus towards the spike plant if it does try and come through, but continued delay from the defense denies Giants the opportunity to do so. And you can see the delay coming through and time ticking away. This could start to get worrying for the attack.
Here's Levin to try and take the fight head on. 3 players spotted yellow. It's the one from main which takes him down. West side, Sociable very quick to trade it out. Hitting the 30-second mark, the spike still not on the ground as BBL are continuing to fight into these players and falling. West side with 3 now. Low HP on Cloud.
Planted.
His hands are busy, but the spike is on the ground, and with Sociable playing through his own smoke, he is on site.
Yeah, he has a paranoia to work with as well, and both players slightly disconnected, so a chance to dice up an engagement.
This turret, which is watching the entirety of the left-hand side, Sociable still creeping around, now starting to think about the possibility of a flank. As time ticks on, his chances start to slip away. Needs to isolate a duel. Does have the smoke back up, so there is the opportunity for him to just stick this to half. That is the wing condition. Still going, but the fight needs to be taken. GX go in, only gets 1. Needs to find Cloud. He's gonna get it, but oh, time's so close. Is there enough? Oh yes, there is. Okay, Sociable pulling off the Red Bull clutch.
Massive first round as well. And when the confidence was there for Giants coming into this game, it's a nice way to stunt that for Sociable. I like it, the mid-rounding from BBL, right? They go through, make sure it clear mid, make sure that there's no potential win conditions that Giant X can depend upon if they get into post-plant. Then on top of that, you think about the delay and everything else that they were able to work with. And then Sociable, well, I mean, clutches up perfectly.
Able to fulfill any role in this BBL team, it feels like, but that is such a frustrating way to start things if you're Giant X, especially after last week. As we said, they've always been touted as that dark horse in the region, but never really lived up to expectations. This is a force fight, a very quick push, one which is shut down instantaneously. Yumpy's dart lights up the entirety of Giant X. BBL bury them where they stand.
Yeah, hit with a sledgehammer and no way out. I don't know what else you can really say about that. Anti-Eco does well. And now on towards the next round here. Finally, bye for Giant X this next round, and it's not convincing either.
Absolutely not, especially when you force in there and hot BBL only lose 1 player. So much energy on the stage today, honestly.
This class.
But carrying on from what I was saying about GX, they've put a marker down, but now you're against a team who has been playing well this year, who's been floating on the edge of top 4 since kickoff the last time they played each other. And a lot of that is down to this man, Levin. It is an untraded opening kill. He is brought down to 22, but the Outlaw has had its way with things.
And I like the point that you bring up there about like finally playing against a team who have that upward trend in BBL. I mean, the thing that the Giants had said, it was Westside, sorry, not Westside, it was Westside, sorry, said that they can finally show that they can play good Valorant. Maybe the scrims weren't being shown, like the scrim results weren't being shown in the server in the last couple of splits, but finally they can have a little bit of confidence.
Toxins going up.
Fabinho is part of the changes coming into this stage, and he's caught a lot of audibles, footfall towards the B site. And retaining his position up tube, which is still guarded through the Killjoy utility. It's a rotation towards A. Yampi is there, captain ready to receive, and with the Viper wall up, how does he want to try and play this?
Still has an intel dart, so when they hears the audibles, he can confirm if needed to. Ooh. And that luck, that's going to be tough to lose. Jampi looks to put his place on the site. Can't deny, this is looking as easy as it possibly could be.
Well, for just a moment that Sociable Smoke had allowed GX to get into the site, but it was just a false sense of security. Nice recon from Yampi, like you highlighted, and he's brought the Hunter's Fury up online, coming into what will be the first rifle round of this game between the two.
Yeah, that's always the gamble that you take with forcing in on that second, and Giants having to pay for it. And this can really start to build momentum for the defense of BBL. Especially when you get the advantage in the ultimate cycle. And Giant X, unfortunately for them, they've been building towards Westside's ultimate, the lockdown. And the natural counter to that is the Hunter's Fury that Yampi has up online already.
Really trying to stick it to him early on though. Fighting for control of the orb. Levin's Outlaw, I don't know if he just spotted the toe there, walking across the belt. Giant X are 5 players towards the A side of the map, but BBL have 4 to greet them. They are heavily stacked up.
Oh, lovely shot from Levin. Entry found. Sociables still not being able to be cleared. You can see Giants have an idea about it. Yampi played from there before. The next 2 kills for Giants are well caught. BBL have to respect it, and well, definitely with that lockdown going down, but Magnum's still trying to get cheeky, still trying to find one back in the conversation.
Yeah, and because Yampi tried to force that Hunter's Fury as the execution was coming in, there was no counter. BBL forced to respect and play the true 3v4 a man down.
Partnered up and through screens, Prophet and Magnum go. It's Flickless that stops it though and leaves Prophet calling his lonesome, waiting for Yampi to come through, but he's already down on towards Fridge and kept cold in this round. Giant X finally respond.
Keep a few players alive in the process, still building towards some ultimates. Westside investing his there. And after this kill from Levin, Ara does really well to open up the play. And it's a post-plant on site. For GX, we've always wanted to see them find their identity within the region. I think the meta read looked a lot better from them in the Vitality game as well. And with Cloud on this Gecko, it is a pivot away from the Sage that we saw the last time that they showed us a comp bit. It still offers that plant security, which is very much needed.
Very quickly, have bossed through mid. Through onto the B site where Prophet awaits them. It's Magnum instead from Kitchen. And he's going to be under fire next. Able to stand the test. Ara goes, advantage BBL into the post plan.
BBL don't want to get dragged into these scrappy fights. Every player for themselves. Now they've highlighted Westside. They want to try and isolate him, but he does get out.
Yeah, he's been caught on transition though, so they know about that information and instead maybe looks to reinvestigate that as the rest of BBL descend upon the site. And well, all the players are kind of split up. Yeah, the Thrash is used, but it's denied. And now BBL need to try and get these engagements because time is getting low and Giant X are winning them. Scott back to a 2 versus 2. Sociable gets one back in the conversation, but time is the most important factor. Finally on the spike, and now we see the players use the utility, get the players off the spike, get another round for Giants.
Nice pathing from Grubby towards the end there as well. Does end up losing his life, but it's an interesting post plant from Giant X towards the spawn side, so he was able to spam it from that direction. Magnum does cut off one, but yeah, Ara again finding entry picks, and it's so important for him. I don't think there were really many eye-catching numbers from his start to the stage. You think of the officials that they've played, this only the 4th in VCT for him. Negative in first fights. Last time out, they want to try and have some impact here, and you can already see the space that he's creating for them. Storm online.
A couple of discrepancies in the buys in terms of that Guardian and the Vandal to look at. Most interestingly is the Stinger on Yampi. I think like it's a gun that gets more value towards that A side. But if you go to like the longer lines of sight, it can be very difficult to make it work. But Giant X, they know that BBL like to be aggressive. And well, there you go. That Vandal that Levin had is off the board.
Really good preparation there, just being aware of what it is that BBL were doing. You were wondering, were they going to turn that into a flank or just play to contain? Because it was not too often we saw them actually, chasing up the rear against Heretics. They were just calling the rotations off the back of it. Prophet has had a bit of a warning ahead of this one, but still can't manage it. Too much to handle. Arrow with another. An open B site. Sociable trying to flood in to help. There is some delay.
I don't think that Nano has yet enough.
Well, that's GX's Nano.
Yeah, this is... It's interesting if you can get that Stinger up close, but I don't think they will be able to, though that smoke might help. You've got to be looking at Magnum coming in so late. That Guardian won't be able to help here.
Not at all. Sociable playing up close in yellow. These smokes have been a real problem for GX, so they are looking to challenge this directly. Scribinho swinging from yellow, but supported by his side. Flickless is there.
I think this now becomes a game of exits. What can BBL find?
And they've got one body on either side for this too, but you have to be looking at Magnum with that Guardian. There's one.
A lot of creds in the pocket of Giant X either, so this is where it gets worrying for the next couple rounds.
Just the one that he's going to walk away with. So, a tied game, 6 rounds in here, Cairo.
Yeah.
GX with fairly healthy ult economy. BBL can sort of say the same. Magnum has his Outlaw as well. The Nano which dropped on site, it's important to remind, was just to try and clear out any store utility from BBL, their own Nanos of course. As we have dropped into our first timeout of the game.
Yeah. Head coach Powell getting his shot on the mic. As he gets to talk to his players about what's been going wrong for the past 3 rounds. Sure enough, the last one was thrifty, so with that being said, I think he can maybe write that one off, but the 2 previous was a bit tough.
This is something I think that we've got to be talking about a lot when it comes to Levin, his performances on Jet versus the other agents in his pool. His Yoru, which we saw a little bit on Haven, the Raze sometimes, and the Neon as well.
Yeah.
It feels like every time he had a bad performance on one of those, it's straight back to the Jet.
Yeah, it's comfortability, right? And I think as well that this is an agent which we've seen him have so much success on in terms of how aggressive he's able to be and get out of those engagements. And then when we see him play, like try out these other duelists, it feels as if like he gets a bit too comfortable. I remember watching him on Euro before where like he would be too aggressive and didn't have the, it's crazy to say when you've got a TP out, but didn't understand the limits of what he was playing with.
Placing sentry.
High risk, high reward. That's how Levin plays and has pioneered most of the Jet on this map. Icebox right into the gun round now. Bladestorm up on the other side. Ara has been calling the shots for GX, leading them into battle. The point man of the push again. It's the null command behind it with the flash to support. Straight through the toxic screen he goes. Yampi still hanging around, but not caught blind. Ooh. Not caught at all. Nothing getting past him. The spike will slip between the lines as the pit goes up, but BBL bring an advantage into this retake.
BBL were worried about this being a fake, so they're late to rotate in, and that's allowed so much time for Giant X to set up. This lockdown, though, will probably stop this setup.
It is a fragment which drops over the top. Not sure if it's going to break the ult. It doesn't. I think GX had an air of safety there. They just not going to get anybody detained in the end, but they fight back in through the pit which they left vacant, and BBL make it look very comfortable. Yumpy the only one that goes down, but he did his job at the start of the round, and the rest followed it up.
Yeah, and I like this from BBL. They had a plan set up coming into this round straight away. I was a little bit worried with how late they were to like rotate in, whether Giant X will have everything they need, but they knew they had the lockdown. They knew what they needed to do.
Nice!
And, well, yeah, it was very nice.
Let's go.
I feel like I'm seeing the same replay every time, man. Magnum always on his feet, keeping the energy up throughout what was a very long series last time out. Yeah. So heading into this one, try and keep it snappy, put GX away.
Shutting them down.
Again, look, you can't consider BBL to want to find themselves in an 0-2 position. We've not seen anyone come back from losing their opening 2 games in a long time, if ever.
Look at mid. Look at Magnum. He needs to be careful about these 2 players sitting here.
Does.
Oh yeah!
In the meantime,
Monster
it's
on the
Sociable faced by the Thrash, which does commit to his position. Cloud should be able to recover it, as there is still a stalemate in middle.
If Magnum goes down, this full mid setup falls. I mean, Yampy's behind him, but I still have to put a lot of importance on this.
In effect, it's a 2-on-2, and something else to raise. While all this is happening, you do have Levin just sat outside of A, giving the info, and there is no trade. Magnum able to pick that one up on Grabino. Westside will start to fill the negative space, but look at the comfort that BBL have towards B.
It gets even worse.
Sociable finding 2 quick kills. Well, Westside has already made it past the turret. He has alerted Magnum to his position. First couple shots not going to land, and they know about Flickless.
30 seconds
This
left.
has been such a well-executed round from BBL, getting players in the right position. It's an in-zone flawless, in fact. Cloud's GX fall asleep at the wheel.
I mean, I guess we'll see it in the replays here, but I feel as if it's criminal, the fact that Magnum's able to peek out in mid and get that entry kill. Like, the dart goes out, catches Grabino as he went for the destruction, right? But where's the trade out? It feels as if that's pretty tough. Sociable does well to get his double, and then from there, BBL just steamroll the rest of the round.
Oh, we don't get to listen to that one.
Make it feel a little spa.
Yes! Yeah, as you say, there was that tiny bit of micro there to set up the initial play, but when you look back at the bigger picture, I think that's something else that I wanted to consider coming into this game, because when you look at Cloud as an in-game leader, he outcalled Unfake in the previous game, but that's someone who's only just stepped up to Tier 1 and is facing someone who's moved into a role which is now showing a lot more competency. Now you're up against Yumpy, who, in my opinion, out of all of the IGLs we saw created out of that old Liquid roster, the one which lifted the trophy in 2023, Safe, Nats, who's still there, and him, of course, I would possibly argue that I think I've been most impressed with how he's done with this BBL team.
I would have to second your thoughts, and I think not only that, and it's something that the desk was talking about, was the leadership as well, the most important factor after how well he's called, and how he's able to bring up the rest of his team, and also just still be that vibes guy, still be himself throughout everything that he's taken on in this roster, and yeah, it is great to see. And I think as well, like, to compare like 2 leaders and 2 IGLs, like compare Nats and compare Yampy, like Nats is that kind of stoic type of leader, whereas Yampy's the fun type of leader, you know, which is kind of funny.
We are having a couple of audio issues, unfortunately, so it will be a moment before we get back to the game, but I'm happy to extend that conversation a little bit further with you as well. I think IGLs and EMEA has always been a tough topic to address. I think we've seen a lot of newer IGLs come in, right? Not necessarily have been picked up for that role, but shifted into it, and Yumpy's definitely taken that up. I'm liking just how proactive some of these rounds are. We saw on the flip side, though, the extremes of it, where Levin is pushing through Garage and getting caught by 2 GX players waiting for him. It's that balance, something that was mentioned a lot in the Heretics game on this map from BBL's point of view, was the discipline. How much are you showing? When do you get carried away?
Quick note coming into this round, though, Hazza, is that Giant X are really at the end of their pus, and Ara is even having to pick up just a shorty while using the blades and a heavy shield. So that's what we've got to deal with. If you look towards the A site, all of Magnum's setup is ready to go.
Also fighting through mid, but West Side has the adjustment, finds him acutely. Yampi still rotating, could be caught in transition, but won't fall for it. Rubino goes down, all of a sudden BBL a strong A side.
Yeah, and also on top of that, we've got a late lock coming through. Giant X have no idea about this, and Sociable will get the next kill.
Not exactly late, he's right on time. Sociable ready for the duel, happy to entertain it. Paranoia slightly wide of the mark, but it matters not. BBL notched their 6th, and it's securely.
Very, very nicely done. And it's the fact that you don't even see Giants react at all about the possibility of there being a flank. I know it's hard to when you've got so much going on throughout the map. Yeah, I mean, Yampi does well to get what he got, and then down in that spike in that position, yeah, Giant X just can't come back from it.
Nice, boys!
Oh, it's just a handshake this time, okay.
Nice and polite, he's a gentleman.
Gentleman's agreement. He's really enjoying that mid dart as well. It's an area which GX haven't really got a hold of. Ara updrafting, top of the tube. Has this been relayed onto Sociable? He's just walking out into the open. That's when Ara drops in, so doesn't catch the timing. Sociable still going. 2 from him. Feels like overachieving in that position.
Yeah, Ara behind enemy lines though. How does BBL deal with that while the spike's going down?
Spike planted.
11 on the line, by the looks of it. Little bit awkward for Profek. He's starting to pair up and clear this space. Yampi the same. He's late from Boiler. Did you see the barrel? I don't think so, but they still have an idea of the area where Ara could be roaming. All of this is eating into the time bank. A big chunk of it already lost.
Yeah, remember there's still so much utility as well to come through. Ara will get that kill, but let's look at what's on the site.
It's only just gone down to a 3v2 now, and GX have bought a lot of time. If this nano doesn't get broken, it bounces really awkwardly. Fragment coming out as well, then GX could be in a winning position, and Flickless has already found 3. There is no half. In fact, there is no round. It just took far too long, so Flickless plays to the time, and GX play to a 4.
Yeah, and Ara is the hero of that round. The fact that he's able to waste so much time, 3 players dedicated to the re-clear. And then, yeah, the utility does its work from there. The value that they find because of Ara's delay is brilliant.
Really liking this performance from the young gun right now. And look, I mean, the KD doesn't exactly reflect the highlight, but as we said before, it is the amount of space that he is getting away with. That's life difficult.
Yeah, facing us head on. And they've got the first.
Yampi in, flashes back, BBL in the feed. Rubino able to stabilize the core of Flickless, so it does end 3 on 3. But once again, when you take a step back through that wider lens and look at the radar, it's BBL stacked up in position on A with control through middle, and GX have just not raised any question marks elsewhere. They will freeze and most likely re-hit.
BBL here to face them.
And in saying that, there is a lot of utility here for GX, whereas BBL perhaps can't call on as much for their site defense. In fact, does have the screen, I suppose.
The one thing that BBL could use is the fact that all that KG utility is down, right? It's whether they want to. I mean, you can already see Sociable starting to play with the idea, being all the way up towards pipes. And Magnum has rotated to this B site, but his position and the way that the players are entering towards B could be under fire.
Parts destroyed.
He just reads it once the turret goes off. Heard the poison orb. Now he takes the timing as the fragment falls at his feet. He drops. Cloud with a kill, which makes GX look like they're going to move within 1 round, and moving very quickly into BBL territory. Snowman, it's a double flash, a well-coordinated piece. Profek falling, and Sociable required of in the clutch.
and won't even be able to react to the first duel. A very nice mid-round from Giant X and how they played that. BBL kind of feel like that wee guy at the pub who likes to pipe up now and again, right? 3 players trying to fight into 5. It's an unwinnable duel, and they actually come out at an advantage. The only thing that undoes them is the fact that the KO ultimate is used.
Eyes too big for their stomach, perhaps. The translation of the Scottish idiom, which we were waiting to get our first taste of, but Cairo is back in the building.
Viper's Pit available for Prophet, and this is the last round, so we know that these ultimates have to be used.
BBL just doubling down on this as well. Yampi moving within 1 of his ultimate, the Hunter's Fury, but you can already see the Pit is available for Prophet to reinforce, bolster up the B. Sociable 1-off as well, and Magnum, not too far, but no, not really tangible in this round.
Yeah, the one thing as well that BBL are doing is they're denying the opportunity for Giant X to get orbs, which is big. Viper's Pit goes down, and the point I'm trying to make is the fact that there's 3 players 2 off. That would be 1 orb and a spike plan if Giant X could get it, and they're being denied by BBL.
Here.
Wide perimeter held by the attack side right now as we've gone inside the minute mark. Still Prophet playing around the pit, looking if anyone's going to cross on B while the A fight comes in. Magnum the one to win it, him supporting, Levin still going, and with Sociable supporting him, that might just be the advantage on the half. That's unless Ara has anything more to say about it, but time plays against him, as do the positions. BBL closing the net, and that will be it. They'll stay in front.
Yeah, a lot of toing and froing in this half, to be honest, Hazza. Both teams showed some nice signs of life, but I worry when Giant X go into that second half and what their defense looks like. But we'll find that out after a quick break.
It is done.
So into the second half we go. It's been a while since we've seen Giant X on this map. In fact, it was the same playday last year, which they previously debuted it. That one settled by a matter of just 2 rounds and overtime lost to Koi. This one kept competitive at the halfway mark, but now they move to the defense, where you looked at GX having the 2nd highest attack side win rate in the league, only 1% behind Liquid and Fnatic. They now move on to the defense, Cairo.
Yeah, I think as well, BBL have already proven what they can do on this map, proven that what they know, it's all about Giant X and the fact that they are an unknown quantity, and BBL have nothing that they can really prepare for. This is kind of like an undercut, right, that they can be able to do to BBL as they start their attack. But let's look at the big stack of players towards mid for that attack.
Cover going out.
Approach from BBL, that's one area that they can look to gain an advantage, just change up their own game, focus on themselves. Yampi has been caught and he's left to his own devices in Garage. Ara finding one in the meantime, opening things up. GX full clear of long at the concession of a plant.
With that spike going down though, you look at the players trying to come back in, and well, BBL play on the front foot.
Vino's got a slight element of surprise here, he's up close and personal. Sniffed out in the end, but Levin has a 1 versus 3 to play into. Gonna be one of those players just locking it down as the rest of GX stride on over with a bit of swagger about them now. 66 HP, quickly cut as his head falls off. Westside leaves it rolling as GX gets started nice and early.
It's the fact that they go and actually assault the weak arm of the push, and also on top of that, the point I was about to make is Ara ends up fighting the big stack to give that information for the fight, and even gets a kill off the back of it. It all falls apart.
Let's go, guys. We got the pistol.
You did. It's an astute observation there from Westside. But it's important that they have. And what, with them forcing on the second round last time, BBL quickly built up some momentum. Very patchy first half. Now with an opportunity to set things in motion themselves.
BBL always like to play it slow, like to usually walk around the map, take their time with things, and well, Ara's not. That's a double kill. As both players try to peek out without any sort of utility to support, and Cloud's got one more.
Ara's starting to catch some of these clean as well, before where maybe it was a 1-for-1 or just a trade out. Now you're starting to see it look razor sharp. After all, it is the anti-eco. The expectations are low here for BBL. With a couple of Sheriffs, you're always thinking about what it is they might be able to pull off, but Sociable can't even touch it. It's an in-zone flawless.
I think as well, like that's a big point to speak about in terms of the expectations of the teams and where they want to find themselves. Obviously champions on the line, and that's where everyone wants to end up. But the thing that I found really interesting after what was a big matchup last week between Heretics and BBL, two teams vying for that champions places, was that BBL were happy with the result. Like, not happy in terms of, oh, they lost, but happy in terms of how they had improved, and then also the mentality aspect of it and how they were able to bounce back in some scenarios.
The narrative's been all about BBL pushing to improve theirs, GX trying to undo the last year or so, and it started well in this game. Flickless with the opening pick. Pressure put onto B Long is unrelenting, and Yumpy is caught sleeping at the wheel. Absolutely no idea. Two back, BBL, but still Rubino is hanging around.
Cover going out.
Sociable expects presence. Could it really be all three? Definitely not. Overlooked. Sociable in another situation where he has to do it all.
Has 2 TP, so he could get away from this engagement, which he'll use.
Sight is free at his back, but really wants to try and take a kill first, and he's going to get it. Gravino's head on a platter. How much further can he take this? I like the plan. It's been fairly open, and no one on GX to challenge.
Yeah, he's worried about players rotating in from A. He's not sure what the whole picture looks like, and he's going through Kitchen. A height advantage in the next engagement, and an ability to go and rotate for another angle in the next engagement.
Is he pathing to? Still just roaming around Kitchen, seeing if any GX players are going to bite on it. The smoke is put into a bit of trepidation, but Sociable is unperturbed. He fights back through, and that is ill-advised as Ara was already on the line. GX making the most of the numbers. They'll convert the 2v1 in the end, but it was damn near close as it's a one-round game.
Yeah, made it far too shaky. Sociable though did well to again tice up. But I feel as if for BBL, a little bit disrespectful in terms of like just having Magnum pick up an orb. Nobody's thinking about the possibility of a player getting through. Speaking of disrespect, there must have been some there.
Oh, got to. Stick it on VAR. After hours. Look, who knows? Maybe we could be heading to Corrode.
Keep up.
Here's the hoping. From BBL, mixed bag. Yampy loves a stinger. You've seen him take the hit for money, so rifles can be bought at times. He's the exception to the rule here.
Same angle that Ara's used before. This time BBL are not falling for it. They're already through it.
Magnum slipped the net on the zip line. Still is held by Cloud. Doesn't really feel like they've gained any yards in this maneuver either, as it's a quiet 30 seconds.
Yeah, and Giant X will start to question themselves. They want to re-clear some space, get some angles, so they have concrete information. You can see Flickless pinging towards mid and worried about that aspect of the map.
One of the reasons why BBL have looked so successful this year is their macro understanding, as we said, and it's the details that can make the difference. Aras found another opening pick through the Outlaw.
And it's forced BBL's hand a little bit. That's why they've been aggressive towards the B side, trying to fake out and pull players across. And it's been fairly successful.
Goes back to the point I was starting to open up. In a round like this, look, maybe you can weave your way into a site, raise some question marks, create some pressure. Levin has a magnetic pull, which 4 GX players have fallen foul to.
Yeah, the question is, does he become a joker in the late round? A potential luck and a win condition that BBL can play through. Spike down, and we're now in the post plan.
He's slow to clear through middle. It is the post on site. BBL looking to really take these fights on the chin and get aggressive. Yumpy, that was a chance to get the first, but Ara wins it. Sociable! Just the one. And that's just not going to cut it in this situation. Now with the screen up and the diffuse coming in, Profek is going to watch it slip away. Drops down, Levin half a chance still. That's a fleeting one. GX get the round they were expected to. Any more damage is fantastic, and Levin can't quite scoop up the Phantom, but the 3 kills to follow is more than good enough.
Yeah, but you look at the money that Giant X had in their back pocket anyway, it doesn't really matter. And there's going to be an operator in play for Ara, who we've seen in the past couple rounds. The scope weaponry looks excellent. And nice ideas from BBL, just very unlucky that there was a late player coming through screens. And overall, as you said, talking about that macro game, what they were able to do with pulling players across to that B side and faking that out. Now we go into the next round, that operator on top of yellow.
Recon right down Ara's throat, but still no scan. Gets away with the first shot. How many more will BBL allow? This is a huge round. Struggled to deny momentum for their opponents. That has been a theme they've had so far this year, and with GX already loading up 4, there'd be a 5th at the end of Ara's op. Certainly he seems to think so. But on the opposite side, we'll try and answer him, but it's a wayward shot, no trade. And with Sociable off the board, they only have the toxic screen towards B to deny any sight right now.
Magnum,
Placing swamp
seeing what he can find here. Potential to give a bit of relief to BBL in terms of a sight plan.
It does feel like a 2-person fake, but towards which end of the map? Yumpy's the spike carrier.
I mean, all the way in towards site nest. Grabino's going investigating.
Ooh, Profek's found his first. Grabino has to be careful here. There are so many angles to consider, and it's Profek who goes overlooked. That spike is now in transit. It's going to be a while before it can get planted. And with a little bit more denial from GX and the wall going up, there are problems for BBL.
Yeah, time is getting so low. BBL ready to assault into the site, but there's players lying in wait. Even though they lost the first on the site take, they won't lose anymore. It's going to be double digits for Giant X as they look to finish out this first map, which is BBL's pick.
Only BBL's pick. It was a dominant display against Heretics the other day. But as we said, that was a streaky game in and of itself. Yeah. Usually BBL are the team that get to 11 rounds and struggle to convert. This time, looks like GX might be hitting that marker first.
Yeah,
Good job, boys. Well done.
and something interesting that Flickless had said last time was about how they felt like they were a little bit shaky towards the end of Bind. So maybe perhaps there's always that worry about them finishing out maps.
Top of the charts for GX at the moment. The unsung hero who's been cropping up in the feed consistently throughout is Grabino. You look at his career, having spent 2 years in Challengers, and now this being his second in VCT, with a new lease of life in GX, honestly. Playing to the levels that we knew he was capable of his rookie year on Koi. I think it's really interesting to see what his role is here in comparison to what we had from him in Kickoff and Stage 1.
I love that he's getting this new lease of life, and it feels as if he was like the linchpin that Giant X needed to move forward with the roster. And I think as well that the big part for me is with Grubby being in this side, the roles make so much more sense.
And I'm so glad you raised that, because I was looking back and GX have never really had a designated smoker post-merger. You had Purpo, Runner, Tamazi last time floating it about, and even before then, what was Redgar, Nukia, Hoodie? It was always someone different. Consistency has to be everything.
Right here.
Out of my way.
For BBL, God, it's belief. Belief that they can win this next round. Ara's up wide on belt, Levin holding, but the flick misses, and that is a warning shot which you don't want to give any more cadence to.
Yeah, and the thing for BBL is their hand is forced. GX know that this is going to be the response, so that's why we're seeing Westside change up his positioning on site.
Such an over-rotation as well. Look, 3 players moving spawn side. Little pressure yet in mid. GX are going to be here and ready for this fight before BBL can even get on site.
Up Levin's blades. Usually he's good for at least one. He isn't this time. Magnum now through mid gets one back. And while this Hunter's Fury rings off, there's only really one tag. Magnum caught out. The second look isn't. Sociable getting what looked like some relief for BBL. It will not be. Sociable needs to clutch up once again.
A little far out of his ballpark. Speaking of, he's heading down the road with the ult. Wants to pick up the spike, bring it over to A. There is time to set this one up. GX should be aware of it, and as you can already see, starting to get their legs moving themselves. Full util belt.
Yeah, it's another 1 versus 3, which he has to work with. And you look at how the 2 sets of players, they're completely disconnected. Ara has an op as well. Sociable up against the first, won't get it. And well, that will be 11 as this gap continues to grow. Giant X are now starting to get within sight of the finish line.
Yeah, look, don't want to call it in just yet. We were there in the rafters watching the Apex KC game earlier.
Oh my God.
Evan just so isolated in taking that first engagement. Flickless drops, but the suppression is still in play, and GX fight in numbers. They make a very convincing call. Call back to the macro I was talking about, and this IGL head-to-head. Cloud has set it up perfectly, and BBL now need to try and find that winning solution. It's 6 unanswered, stepping into what could quickly become map point.
And the worst part about this is the ultimate's expended in the last one, right? And Magnum, who has that lockdown, there's 2 easy counters through the Thrash that can maybe go and buy space to go and destroy it, or even just use Westside's aggressive positioning through the A side. Already gets a look at Magnum moving forward.
Look at the line control that Ara already has. He'll be calling to the rest of his team. You can stack up towards A now. There's nobody peeking long. Profec's job here is going to be to try and raise a bit of a question mark, but there is little behind this. He will struggle to do that by himself.
BBL move into Giant X's Dominion by trying to use the lockdown, and the player's aggressive. Magnum's actually the first who gets the kill. And well, Ara, as BBL look elsewhere, will get his. Now it's up to the 2 players of Sociable and Yampi, the daring duet. And well, Sociable being aggressive.
Okay, Cloud's still hanging around, he's been removed. Ult coming back through 2-on-2. Ara hitting the scene in just the right amount of time. What do BBL make? What's the play?
Oh, they're not looking! Oh, what? Yampi manages to just escape into jail, and it'll feel like that with the lockdown going off. He manages to hold on! But hold on, he cannot get any further. It will be 12 and map point for Giant X.
It's cut so fine. Such little amounts in it in the end, but Westside has hauled them through. It was the lockdown destroyed here by a bit of utility in the end, I believe. Oh no, Cloud peeking through the screen on the other side. It was chaos on the side. Social does so well to get 2 back, but then just completely overlooking Ara, who is playing with a real sense of confidence.
That will feel like a gut punch-up, a real miserable round to lose, especially with the plan that BBL had. We move into the next. The buy is all over the place, especially when we look towards the Guardian and Profec's hand, the Stinger and Yampi's and the Operator and Ara's. He's not able to get a kill, he's not even able to destroy the turret, and he just misses out on Magnum.
Missed shot, uncharacteristic. Profec able to capitalize, does find a player boiler, that's flickless.
The regress from mid. And the question mark on mid is already basically cleared with the positioning of the players.
you're looking at this guy right now. Rubino, pushed up on A, has the pit. You've got the element of surprise, and I think that counts for more right now. BBL won't. As soon as that alarm bot gets hit, the penny drops. It's the B site. Some stall, buys rotation for GX. Second nano would be a blessing if he can land it.
Ara has been put on notice with the health that he's on. Well, Magnum's already found Cloud, trying to work his way on towards Snowman. That's going to be a tough one to lose. Spike down, we move into post, and trying to retake with an operator is never nice.
Rubino still has the ult, as I said, but now he's on the flank.
Yeah, is it?
Wins
Oh
it.
no, BBL
One
are falling
enemy
apart.
remaining.
Not like this! Not like this! Giant X, out of nowhere, will win the first map, which again was BBL's pick.
Such a back and forth first half, but in this game of pass the parcel on BBL's birthday week, that first layer comes off, and it's a scary surprise.